Okay, say your name again.
Krishna.
Go ahead.
Your Honor, and members of the jury, today the prosecution has proven without any reasonable doubt that Adrian Vega is guilty of the crime of hit and run, a crime that has robbed a man the ability to do what he loves. This case is built upon solid evidence and testimony that proves without a hint of doubt that 1. Adrian Vega was driving the car. 2. Adrian Vega was fully aware that he had hit someone and did not stop the vehicle. And 3. Adrian had the most to lose. First, you heard from Tony DeLuca. In Tony's testimony, you heard how Adrian was texting and driving recklessly, setting up a situation for disaster on the windy roads of Hidden Valley. Tony also testified to feeling a large bump that was felt by a person half asleep with headphones in, a large enough bump that should have been felt and was felt by Adrian Vega, a large enough bump to cause concern for Tony. However, when Tony asked Adrian if they had hit anything, Adrian just kept driving away from a permanently injured Cameron Douglas. Now, the defense has tried to fabricate a story where Tony was the one driving recklessly and Adrian was an unsuspecting suspect or witness. However, according to Adrian himself, he promised his father that he would never let someone drive his father's vintage Wheeler. Adrian would never let anyone drive his father's incredibly expensive car. This only leaves one option, that Adrian Vega was driving the car. You also heard from Quinn Liu, a witness to this terrible crime. Quinn Liu testified to seeing a large black car run a stop sign, plow Cameron Douglas over with the left bumper, and drive away without stopping. Quinn also testified that the driver was wearing a cardinal and gold baseball cap and a white t-shirt. This description of the driver, of course, matches the testimony of Officer Wright and Adrian Vega himself about what Adrian was wearing that night, once again pointing to Adrian as the driver. Quinn Liu also witnessed something about Cameron's apparel that night. Cameron was wearing a fully functioning headlight, a headlight that would be unmistakable to a driver, even a distracted one. But Adrian did not stop, even though Cameron was visible to everyone on the street, even though the crash caused Cameron to fly into the air and shatter his knee, ending his career as a competitive athlete. And even though the crash left a significant dent in the car, and even though the crash was loud enough to wake a half-sleeping Tony DeLuca, he did not stop. No. Adrian thought, even though it was evident that Adrian had hit someone, he just drove along. Now, the defense would try to argue that Adrian had no reason to drive away that night, but Tony had the most to lose from a traffic incident like this. However, you heard from Taylor Berard, Adrian's swim coach, how Adrian was a swimmer with a lot of potential. Potential to swim for the University of Los Angeles and compete in the 2016 Olympics. Adrian had a very bright future. All these opportunities would disappear if Adrian was arrested on a hit and run charge. His promising future would disappear if he stopped the car and did his responsibility as a driver. But no, Adrian chose not to stop the car because he had too much to lose. Today, Your Honor, and members of the jury, the prosecution has bared the proof of burden. The prosecution has proven without a reasonable doubt that 1. Adrian was driving. 2. Adrian knew he had hit someone and drove away anyways. And 3. He had his whole future to lose if he was arrested on a hit and run charge. As a consequence of Adrian's actions, a man has lost something that he loves to do, crushing Cameron Douglas's hopes and dreams. I asked the court to find Adrian Vega guilty of the crime of hit and run because the evidence points to Adrian Vega without a doubt and to bring peace to the victim of this terrible crime.
All right. Thank you. That was 3 minutes, 59 seconds.
Thank you. Good.